Ladies and gentlemen, let me tell you something straight from the heart. If you really want to make a man miss you 50 times more, you don't do it by always being available. You don't do it by always answering the phone on the first ring or by dropping everything the moment he calls. No, see, real value is created by absence. When something rare isn't in front of you every day, you start craving it. You start realizing what you're missing. That's the first truth. Give space and let that man feel the absence of your presence. Ladies and gentlemen, let me tell you something real today, and I need you to hear me with both your heart and your head. Value is created by absence, not constant presence. See, one of the biggest mistakes people make in relationships is thinking that if they're always available, always present, always answering, always showing up, then that's how you hold on to a man. But the truth is, if you're constantly there, constantly giving, constantly within reach, you risk making yourself too common, too easy to access, and that's when a man stops realizing just how special you really are. It's not that you don't matter, it's that he doesn't get the chance to miss you. Think about it. When you hear your favorite song on the radio every single hour of the day, back to back, eventually you stop appreciating it. You start saying, man, they play this too much. But when it comes on after a little while, when you haven't heard it in some time, it feels fresh. It feels exciting. It feels like something worth singing to again. That's how it works with people too. When you're always around, always in his face, always giving him access, he can take you for granted without even realizing it. But the moment you step back, the moment you create a little absence, that's when he starts realizing the weight of your presence. A man needs room to miss you. He needs silence to notice the sound of your voice missing from his day. He needs space at the table to fill the gap where you usually sit. He needs the quiet of the night to notice the absence of your laughter. Without that absence, he never truly understands the value you bring. That's why I tell women all of the time, love is strong enough to handle space. Real love grows when it has room to breathe. Now, absence doesn't mean playing games or disappearing without explanation. It doesn't mean ignoring a man just to manipulate him. What I'm talking about is balance. I'm talking about not dropping your whole world just because somebody walked into it. You had a life before him, and you need to keep that life, even while you love him. Keep your friends, keep your passions, keep your goals, keep your alone time. That way, when you step away for a little while, you're not just creating absence, you're building your own presence outside of him. And that's attractive. That makes him sit back and say, man, she's got something going on. She's got a life. And I want to be part of it. See, too much presence can make love feel like pressure. Constant calling, constant texting, constant needing, those things don't build connection, they drain it. But when you allow absence to play its role, when you let him sit with himself and notice the lack of you, that's when his mind goes to work. He starts to imagine what you're doing. He starts to wonder who you're with. He starts to crave the way you make him feel. That craving is what makes a man miss you. Not your constant presence, but the absence that leaves a hole only you can fill. It's the same principle you see when someone loses something valuable. You don't realize how important your car keys are until you can't find them. You don't realize how much you love your favorite jacket until you leave it somewhere. And you don't realize the depth of someone's impact until they're not right in front of you every second. That moment of loss, even if temporary, magnifies value. That's why absence is powerful. It shines a spotlight on what was always there, but may be taken for granted. So when you step back, when you give them a little space, don't see it as distance, see it as a chance for your value to rise. You're not pulling away, you're giving him the gift of perspective. You're allowing him to sit with himself and understand, man, my life is brighter when she's around and dimmer when she's not. That realization can only come through absence, never through constant presence. And once he feels that, once he knows that emptiness, that's when you've got him missing you, not just a little bit, but 50 times more. Ladies and gentlemen, let me put something on your heart today. If you want a man to truly value you, to honor you, to respect you, you have to understand one simple truth. A man respects what he has to work for. Now, I know in today's world, people like to act like everything should be quick, easy, and handed over. But let me tell you something from experience. Anything that comes too easy gets taken for granted. But what we sweat for, what we fight for, what we climb for, that's what we hold on to with both hands. And that principle works in love just as much as it does in life. See, when a man has to put in some effort to win your attention, to earn your trust, to get your time, he doesn't just see you as another woman. He sees you as the prize. And when a man views you as the prize, he treats you differently. He invests in you, not just with money, but with time, with consistency, with energy. He doesn't just pop in and out when he feels like it, because he remembers what it took to get that place in your life. And he's not about to lose it. Let me break it down this way. When you walk into a store and buy a pair of shoes for $10, you might kick them around, throw them in the corner, wear them out without thinking twice because they didn't cost you much. But if you go out and spend $200 on a pair of fine shoes, you clean them, you protect them, you put them back in the box because you invested in them. That investment creates value in your mind. The same thing happens with men. If all he has to do is snap his fingers and you're there, he'll treat you like a $10 pair of shoes. But if he has to show up, if he has to be consistent, if he has to demonstrate his intentions, then he sees you as valuable, like those $200 shoes, except more, because you're priceless. And let me tell you, ladies, a man actually wants to work for it. Don't let anybody fool you into thinking men don't like to chase, because they do. It's in our nature. A man loves to feel like he's achieving something, like he's pursuing something worth the effort. When you make it too easy, you rob him of that feeling, and whether he admits it or not, it leaves him unsatisfied. But when you set a standard, when you let him know, hey, if you want me, you're going to have to step up, you're going to have to be consistent, you're going to have to prove that you mean what you say, then you give him something to rise to. And the right man will rise. The problem is too many women are scared that if they don't give too much too soon, the man will walk away. But let me be real with you. If he walks away because you made him put in effort, he was never your man to begin with. The one who's meant for you, the one who truly sees your worth, he's not going to be scared of a little work. In fact, that effort is going to make him bond with you even more, because we respect what we earn and we love what we respect. Think back on your own life. the diploma you had to study for, the job you had to grind for, the goals you had to sweat for. Don't you hold them tighter than the things that just fell into your lap? It's the same with relationships. When he invests, when he works, when he sacrifices, he ties his heart into it. And that's what makes him miss you when you're not there. Because he knows you're not just anybody, you're somebody he had to step up for. So don't shy away from standards. Don't apologize for having requirements. Don't feel guilty for expecting effort. That effort doesn't scare off the right man, it secures him. He will not only respect you more, he will miss you more, because every time he thinks of you, he remembers the journey it took to be close to you, and he knows he doesn't want to lose it. That's the power of making a man work for you. When you give everything away too soon, when you lay out your entire life story, your every thought, your every plan, you take away one of the most powerful forces in attraction, mystery. Mystery is what keeps a man leaning forward, what makes him wonder, what makes him stay curious. And let me tell you, curiosity is fuel for missing somebody. When a man doesn't know everything about you, when he can't predict your every move, his mind stays busy filling in the blanks. He wonders where you're doing, where you're going, who you're with, and that wondering makes him miss you far more than constant updates ever could. Think about the movies you've loved the most. The ones that kept you on the edge of your seat weren't the ones that told you the ending in the first 5 minutes. They were the ones that unfolded slowly. The ones that left you guessing, the ones that made you say, I've got to see what happens next. Relationships work the same way. If you reveal every detail of yourself right away, you take away the suspense, and suspense is part of attraction. That little unknown space between what he knows and what he wants to know, that's where longing is born. Now, mystery doesn't mean playing games or being dishonest. It doesn't mean pretending to be somebody you're not. It means holding something of yourself back, not rushing to give all your energy, not pouring your whole soul out before he's earned that access. It means leaving parts of yourself for him to discover over time. Because when a man has to discover you layer by layer, like opening chapters of a book, he stays engaged. And the beauty of that is this: every time he's away from you, his mind replays what he knows and wonders about what he doesn't know yet. That wondering creates missing. Mystery keeps your value high. If you're too predictable, if he knows your every move, he stops looking forward to the next moment. But if you surprise him, if you leave something new to be revealed, he becomes eager. He's excited to see you. He's eager to hear from you because he never knows what's next. And when he can't be with you, that eagerness turns into missing you because the curiosity doesn't turn off when you're not around. A man's imagination is powerful. If you keep a little mystery, you give his imagination work to do. He'll imagine your smile, your laugh, your scent, the way you make him feel, and he'll also imagine the parts of you he hasn't yet discovered. That blend of memory and curiosity keeps you alive in his mind when you're not in front of him. That's why mystery makes him miss you 50 times more. It's not just about what he remembers, it's about what he wonders. Some women think they have to over-explain themselves, constantly reassure a man, constantly check in. But the truth is, if you're always explaining, always updating, always narrating your every step, you remove the spark. He doesn't get a chance to miss you if you're constantly feeding him information. But when you pull back just enough, when you let him ask, when you let him be curious, you become unforgettable because curiosity is addictive And when a man is addicted to knowing more about you, he won't stop thinking about you when you're not around. Think of it like a magician. The trick isn't powerful when you show every step of how it's done. The power is in the mystery, in the unanswered question. That's what keeps people talking long after the show is over. You have to carry some of that same energy. Don't give away all your magic at once. Let him stay a little fascinated. Let him feel like there's always more to learn about you. When you carry yourself with mystery, you give him reasons to miss you in ways you don't even realize. He misses the comfort of what he already knows about you. And at the same time, he misses the possibility of what he hasn't uncovered yet. That double pull, memory and curiosity, is what keeps you on his mind, even in silence. And that's how mystery makes a man miss you not just a little, but so much more than you ever imagined. Confidence is one of the most powerful forces a woman can carry. It's not about arrogance. It's not about pretending to be perfect. It's about knowing your worth and walking in it every single day. When a woman truly believes in her value, she doesn't chase validation. She doesn't beg for attention. She doesn't crumble when somebody doesn't notice her because she already knows who she is. And let me tell you, that kind of energy is magnetic. A man feels it the moment you step in the room. He might not even be able to explain it, but he feels drawn to it. And when you're gone, that confidence is exactly what makes him miss you more. Confidence says, I'm the prize. Not in a boastful way, but in a grounded way that communicates you're not desperate, you're not settling, you're not about to shrink yourself just to fit into somebody else's life. A confident woman doesn't wait for someone else to set her value. She sets it herself. And here's the truth. When you carry yourself like that, a man can't help but respect you, even if he doesn't say it out loud. He knows he has to step up because you're not the type of woman to let somebody play small around you. Now, why does confidence make a man miss you so much more? Because when you're gone, he feels the gap. Confidence has a presence. It lights up a room. It changes the energy. It brings strength and beauty all in one. When you're around, he feels lifted. He feels like he's in the company of someone who knows her value, someone who doesn't just take up space but commands it. And when that presence is missing, he feels the difference. He notices the silence. He notices the absence of that energy. And that makes him long for you in a way that words can't capture. See, when a woman lacks confidence, she often clings. She tries to fill the space with constant calls, constant questions, constant need for reassurance. But that doesn't create longing. That creates pressure. It makes a man pull back instead of pulling forward. On the other hand, a confident woman doesn't cling. She gives love, but she doesn't beg for it. She shows up, but she doesn't force herself where she doesn't belong. And that balance is powerful because a man knows deep down that if he doesn't value her, she values herself enough to walk away. That thought alone keeps him on his toes. That thought alone makes him miss her when she's not around. Confidence is also about how you live your life outside of the relationship. A confident woman doesn't put everything on hold waiting for a man to complete her. She's already complete. She has her own dreams, her own goals, her own friends, her own laughter, her own joy. And that independence is attractive. It tells a man, I want you, but I don't need you to survive. And believe me, men notice that. A man is drawn to someone who chooses him out of desire, not out of desperation. When he sees you living your life fully, he not only respects you more, he fears losing you more. That fear is what fuels missing you because he knows your world doesn't fall apart without him. It keeps moving. Think about the people who leave a lasting impression in your life. They're not always the ones who tried the hardest to please you. They're the ones who walked in with confidence, who carried themselves with strength, who made you feel like being in their presence was a gift. That's exactly what confidence does in relationships. It leaves an imprint that lingers when you're gone. A man will sit there thinking about your smile, your words, the way you carried yourself, and he'll miss it. Not because you demanded it, but because confidence leaves no other choice. So when you carry confidence, you don't just attract love, you make love miss you when you're not in the room. Because confidence isn't something a man can easily forget. It's a magnet. And even when the magnet isn't right in front of him, the pull is still there. That's why self-confidence isn't just important for you. It's the very thing that makes a man feel your absence more deeply and miss you more intensely than anything else. Boundaries are one of the most powerful tools you can have in a relationship because they teach people how to treat you. Too many times people think that love means giving somebody unlimited access, letting them say whatever they want, do whatever they want, and come and go however they please. But that's not love. That's losing yourself. Real love is built inside boundaries because boundaries aren't about pushing someone away. They're about showing them how to get close to you the right way. A man may not admit it, but he actually respects a woman who draws the line. He may test it, he may push against it, but deep down he knows that when you enforce your standards, you are showing him that you know your worth. And that worth makes him treat you differently. When you let a man walk all over you, he may stay for a while, but he won't respect you. But when you say, this is what I will accept and this is what I won't, that respect grows. And when respect grows, love grows. Boundaries also create longing. See, when you don't let a man have everything all at once, he learns to appreciate what he does have. If you give away your time too freely, if you never say no, he stops valuing your yes. But if you balance it, if you say, I'm not available right now, but I'll see you later, he starts to look forward to that time. That anticipation is what makes him miss you. It makes him realize that your presence isn't something he can demand. It's something he has to earn. And that makes it more valuable. Think of it like this. If a person can eat dessert whenever they want, it stops being special. But when dessert is a treat, something to look forward to, it becomes sweeter. Boundaries make your presence sweeter. They make your love more powerful. And the truth is, the right man won't run from boundaries. He'll step up to meet them. And when he does, he'll not only love you more, he'll miss you more because he knows you're not just a woman who gives everything away. You're a woman who knows how to protect herself. That's the strength that makes a man hold on tighter, not loose. One of the most powerful ways to make a man miss you is to keep living your own life. Too many people lose themselves once they get into a relationship. They stop doing the things they loved before. They stop spending time with their friends. They put their dreams on hold. And before long, their whole world starts revolving around that one person. But let me tell you, nothing kills attraction faster than someone who gives up their identity. When you abandon your own life, you make it too easy for him. And easy doesn't make him miss you. What makes him miss you is when you have a life so full, so vibrant, so joyful, that he feels blessed just to be a part of it. When you're busy living, you create absence without even trying. You're not always by the phone because you're at lunch with friends. You're not always available because you've got goals you're working on. You're not sitting at home waiting for him to text because you're out there building yourself up. That's not neglect, that's balance. It shows him that while you care about him, you don't depend on him to feel complete. And that independence is powerful because it makes him realize that your time, your presence, your attention are valuable. A man is far more likely to miss you when he sees that your life moves with or without him. He notices that you're fulfilled, that you're happy, that you're shining, and it makes him want to come closer. Not only that, it makes him realize that if he doesn't step up, someone else might want to join that beautiful life you're creating. That little fear mixed with admiration is what fuels missing you. He knows he's not your whole world, and that makes him work harder to be an important part of it. The truth is, people are drawn to energy. When you have your own hobbies, your own goals, your own excitement, you create energy that pulls people in. And when you're not around, that energy leaves a gap. That's the gap he feels when he misses you. The gap of your passion, your joy, your independence. Living your own life doesn't push him away. It pulls him in stronger because a man will always chase a woman whose life is worth chasing.